Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast where we dive into the biggest entertainment stories and the latest political news. But before we get started, make sure you smash that like button and that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. I am Carlos, and that's Robbie, and this is the Last Fing Word. Robbie, how you doing over there?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Just went for a hike this morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
where'd you go hiking at?
Running this morning.
Oh, was it busy?
It wasn't too busy. It was actually pretty good, actually. I thought it was going to be busier than it was, but it was not. It was a lot of dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs. And I get it. I'm a dog. I like dogs, but man, them dogs was up there. I'm just, come on, y'all.
We have I miss Runyon and Fryman and Griffith Canyon now that I don't live in LA anymore. But here in Oregon, we have thousands of trails. Like you can't even discover them all. There's so many trails and they're so full out. And even in my neighborhood here in Tannis, I live kind of close to Tannisbourne, they have trails all inside the buildings with trees, and it's just no cars, and it's just going to be no people around. So it's absolutely just stunning.
What kind of wildlife do they have out there where you
are? Deer. We have some coyotes. I think we spotted a little wildcat a little while ago, but I'm in farmland, so there's a lot of just flat land everywhere, and then there's some hills and stuff. But I think we saw a snake the other day. Actually, it was kind of funny. It was kind of wet, and it kind of went across the road. But not a lot. I mean, not a lot of crazy stuff. I thought LA was lit with animals. I mean, you guys got coyotes in the city.
Yeah,
raccoons, all sorts of shit.
But coyotes, they are afraid of you, so they just run away. It's the mountain lions. But thank God they have this tracking system here in Los Angeles where they track all the mountain lions, so you can go on the app and say, oh, they're over there. They're not over in this mountain, So it's easy. They got tags on them and they track them, so it's pretty cool. So there's nothing to fear when you're hiking here in Los Angeles. Here and there you have a dog here and there, but nothing major. So it's good for us.
Yeah. Besides the real life bears and cougars walking, running, the old
the people. How about that? The people.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, let's get started. Let's get this started, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember, smash that like button and subscribe. We really would appreciate that. And let's get started with our first topic: abortion. It has been a major focal point for the Democrats and Republicans in this election cycle. And your boy J.D. Vance talked about the abortion and said that he wanted a national ban at one point, but then at his vice president debate, he kind of changed his or pivoted to something a little less intrusive for women. So, what are you thinking about abortion? Where are we at? Let's break this down.
Where are we at with abortion? Are you we're in reference to, are we talking about their messaging, or where the country stands with abortion?
Where the country stands, and then also where you stand, and why do you think we're still talking about this conversation? We're still having this conversation after 20, 30, 40 years.
Well, I think it'll always be a conversation. I mean, the facts are this: birth rates are down. The younger generation are choosing career and travel and other things in life before they settle down with a family. Also, economic difficulties, and also the fact that contraception is so available now that, I think we're all, compared to the 80s, we're having less babies. I think the messaging of abortion is a little wrong, obviously, because the pro-life religious beliefs are kind of taken hold of it, and their messaging is just all over the place for me. What they should be saying is, look, we're having less babies. We are going to have less of a workforce in the future, and also our morals and values, or our as a country, will be evaporating. You know what I mean? We won't be the same culture anymore, which is inevitable.
Mm-hmm. But because it's going to change, the culture is going to change. People are going to change. Things are going to happen. But I think, just piggybacking on what you're saying, I'm thinking that it's really not about the welfare of the mother, the baby, the individual. It's not about them. It's really about procreation and keeping.
And we wish that would be the message that they would say. They say,
Yeah,
"Look, guys, we're not having enough children." But I think the younger generation is looking like we have too many kids. We
yeah, yeah,
have
yeah.
too many people. We have a weather conditioning here. We have global
Right.
warming. We have, you know what I mean. We don't have
Yeah.
enough resources. We're eating like plastic foods. Like we need
Exactly,
less
that are
people.
made, yeah, that are made in all these different these different facilities. But in 2050, the majority right now will be the minority in 2050. So I really think that has a lot to do with why the GOP or the right is so active in trying to convince everybody, the world, that we need to facilitate a national abortion ban. And I'm always thinking, but wait, I'm always thinking, having this national abortion ban, that means you're going to have more kids that's coming into the world, but yet no health care. You're trying to get rid of health care.
Well,
This,
you're just not protecting the woman, and
yeah,
it's for sure anything that is growing inside your body is yours and your decision. You should be able to do what you want with your body. I'm sick of us dictating what
yeah,
we do for women and how men need to back the fuck up and let women govern themselves and decide what kind of healthcare they need for these issues.
right,
We should have no say in it, and I hate the fact that religious groups bound this, like, life is at like the tiny seed in some woman's body. It's ridiculous shit. Like
right.
I don't know, but
Because there is no laws for men. There are no laws
yeah,
that
and there's no
dictate.
laws for
Yeah,
men at all. And but I just, people are not stupid, and I think also just because you make abortion illegal across the country, I don't think people are going to start having more sex.
right, right.
I think, I think people can realize that, like, a family structure costs a lot of money,
Yeah,
and those old Christian beliefs of having a nuclear family and all that stuff is kind of evaporating.
right.
However, the result of this would be our population is going to get older, not
Mhm.
younger, just like what happened in China.
Right.
And that doesn't help us when it comes to production or manufacturing in the US and creating jobs and stuff like that. We're just going to be elderly people walking around. But maybe it's our time. Maybe we need to, like,
It's our, that's what you got,
you
really.
know what I mean? We took the best from this earth. Like,
Yeah.
why do we need to, like, multiply even more? I mean, slow down.
Yeah, but I mean, I just, and you're right about that. Slow down just a little bit, but I just think it's the idea that I can control a human being. I really think it's that plus the procreation. It's the idea that I have control, dominion, power, the authority over your body. That's you, and it's only women. It's not, they're not trying to control anyone else but women. It's just such a weird thing to partake in,
And well,
and
and
to
it's
witness.
I think it's ironic too, like some of the women who push for this agenda and then they end up having to have an emergency abortion or something like that, and
Yeah,
their health is in jeopardy. And now, oh shit,
yeah.
you know what I mean? When it's you, it's different. But you know what I mean? But not everybody has the same body and health conditions as you do. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
You can't
mhm.
make decisions for everybody like that.
Yeah.
Like,
So, so,
I'm
so, so they're
so
pretty
sick of
much
talking about abortion. I love Jesus.
right, but so they're going against their own, will per se when you are, um, wanting abortion to be legal in every state in the country. As a woman, like some red states are like, we're all for abortion. I'm just like, I don't get it. Like that's against your own, self, um, will. It's just that's the part I really don't understand. Women who choose to want to placate to the right and literally say, hey, we think there should be an abortion. We think there should be we're pro abortion. And I'm always wondering, like, why as a woman would you go in the direction that's opposing to your interests. Like that just it don't sit well with me.
Well,
I'm just like,
and it's
what's the qualification? What
religion. It's just religion, literally.
religion?
It's religion. I mean, that's literally. I mean, they put us when you have like these strong beliefs that, like, everybody is every life is precious and stuff like that, and then you're trying to determine what life is, and at a
Yeah.
certain point, you're not even a scientist. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
then we're always going to have this religious stigma over abortion. It's just, but the problem is like you have these younger generation people are not religious, so it's their this is their push, this is their last push
Hmm. So
to
what happens in November? What happens? How do we? Where do we land? Like as far as
we're
abortion
going to see the
nationally?
biggest blue wave you've probably ever seen, because this is on the line in a lot of states. It's just hurting them. They should be taking it off their ballot.
Hmm.
And I think people, especially young kids who are registered to vote, are going to come out and just it's going to be probably the highest voting rates we've ever seen
Yeah,
ever,
I
hands down.
believe that, but I think, and I really think that abortion is like number one. They say economy and immigration. They say all that stuff is there, but I just think when your health is at risk, it's just a different beast
Yeah,
to.
I don't feel like the normal people. I mean, maybe because we're siloed and are actually worried about the immigration as much as the abortion issue. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they really do push this border situation, but you don't really like, it's not like a conversation or a debate that people
Yeah.
constantly bring up. You know what I mean? So,
It's not effect. It's not the immediate effect. You know what I mean?
yeah, like, because
Abortion,
the border's been like that forever. So it's like,
right?
they'll fix it, I guess, maybe. You know what I mean? But like, this abortion issue is just like, it just feels like we're back in like, the 80s,
Yeah.
and
Let it
like,
go. Move on.
yeah, it's like,
Move
well,
on.
this was solved. Like, what are we doing? Why are we going backwards and unraveling things and making it
Yeah.
difficult for women to get
Move
health
on.
care and stuff? Like, I just don't understand what's the point of this. There's no plan in
Yeah.
place to, you know what I mean, that you just want to take things away from people, but you don't want to like have a solution for it
Yeah.
either. And that to me
Yeah.
that's the biggest issue.
Exactly. And on that note, we will see what happens in November. See what happens with at the ballot box, and see how it makes an effort or makes an a, a a point to say either we want it or we don't, and that will happen in November. So we'll keep tabs.